family, let's make comprehension and summary simple and interesting. So in this video, we are going to focus on these two questions that are coming from English paper 2 for the year 2024 for the GCE. So we did the first party where we covered vocabulary and transformations. So comprehension is the part of English that tests your understanding. How good are you in understanding a given passage, and the understanding that we are looking at must be a deeper understanding. So let's read through the given passage. So paragraph 1. The International Labour Organization described collective bargaining as negotiation for improved wages and other conditions of employment. So the word bargaining simply means as an agreement between two or more people or groups of people. So I continue. Collective bargaining helps to solve workplace problems. It is a two-way process characterized by conflict of interest between employers who aim to make profit and employees who claim for fair labor practice, which is done at the time of collective bargaining. So the word claimer simply means a loud and confused noise made by people. The main objectives of collective bargaining are to determine work conditions and terms of employment for employees. The other is to regulate relations between employer and employees and to regulate relations between employer and employee organization. We can move on to paragraph number 2. The freedoms to associate and to bargain collectively are fundamental rights rooted in the ILO Constitution. These enabling rights make it possible to promote and realize decent conditions at work. Collective bargaining is a way of attaining beneficial and productive solutions to potentially conflicted relations between employees and employer. We know what conflicting is. It provides means of building trust between the parties through negotiation and articulations and satisfaction of the different interests of negotiation partners. We go to paragraph number 3. Southern African development countries, SADC countries, have ratified ILO conventions on freedom of association and on collective bargaining. So the word ratify simply means to sign or to give consent, like to allow. It is as a result of this ratification that national constitution and labor regulates access to some form of bargaining. So access simply means to agree to a demand, request, or a treat. You agree, you accept to a demand. We are still on paragraph number 3. However, this has not necessarily been done in the best practices. In as much as trade unions have strides on pay and working conditions, collective bargaining has remained opaque, lengthy, and ineffective. So strides, the word strides, the underlined one, simply means a walk with a long decision, steps in a decisive manner. Some governments have riddled collective bargaining with rigidity, bureaucracy, and divisiveness. You can go to paragraph number 4. Currently, collective bargaining in the public service is non-existent or always poised to fail. So the word poised simply means self-confident, like you are self-confident that I can do this or this can be done without a doubt. The legislation governing negotiation between public sector employees and the their employer only serves to address the spirit of collective bargaining. It does not provide for open discussions between the job owner and those hired to work. There is an asymmetrical distribution of power between the employer and the employees, with all power concentrated on the employer. Paragraph 5. The above mentioned provisions make collective bargaining impossible in the public sector. Civil servant is caused to increase the salaries as enunciated by the Apex Council have yielded very little among SADC members countries. The Apex Council in those countries has become a network of misrepresentation, if not a moribund arm in which civil servant representatives engage in collective petitioning instead of binding collective bargaining. So moribund simply means at the point of death, or something is at the point of destroying. Last paragraph 6. By and large, collective bargaining is fraught with irregularity in some countries. In many cases, this has suffocated the progress and life of countries or suppressed the establishment of credible bargaining councils. It is, however, imperative to establish robust and sectoral bargaining. There is a need for trade unions to foster unity for the benefit of employees. When conducted in good spirit, collective bargaining is a social dialogue that benefits both the employer and the employee through conflict resolution, industrial harmony, and increased productivity. So the word robust simply means very strong or healthy. So we've understood the passage is about the relationship between the employee and the employer, and whenever matters arises, how can they solve the conflict between the two parties. Now, question: in each of the following questions 1 up to 9, select the best answer from the 4 options provided. Indicate your answer by drawing a circle around the letter on the question paper as in the example given below. If you change your mind, cross out the initial choice very neatly, then circle your revised answer clearly. For question 10, answer as instructed. So rush to question number 1. So question number 1, paragraph 1, collective bargaining is described as, so we have improvement of employee relations, mediations for better wages and other conditions. So let's go back to paragraph 1. So we can now get more insight from paragraph 1. So the International Labour Organization describes collective bargaining as negotiation for improved wages and other conditions of employment. So we've gotten the answer. Now, since this is all about understanding, we may not be given the same word as negotiation, but for this one we are going to go with multiple choice B. Instead of saying negotiation, we can just say mediation for better wages and other conditions, since it's understanding. So you need to make sure that you understand fully. Now, according to paragraph 1, the process of collective bargaining takes place. So according to paragraph 1, it takes place A, between International Labour Organization and employees; B, between labor unions and employees; C, when improving workers' conditions of service. So the answer is D, when agreement of size and condition of service is arrived at. We go to question number 3. The parties in paragraph 2 refers to. So let's go to paragraph 2 and check where the word parties is. Okay, so we have paragraph 2. The freedoms to associate and to bargain collectively are fundamental rights rooted in the ILO Constitution. These enabling rights make it possible to promote and realize decent conditions at work. Collective bargaining is a way of attaining beneficial and productive solutions to potentially conflicted relations between employee and employer. It provides means of building trust. So, building trust between the parties through the negotiation and the articulation. So, the parties, we are looking about the two, the employer and the employee. So, we have International Labour Organization, employer and workers. So, this is the answer, employers and workers. Then, question 4. We can infer from paragraph 2 that conflicts at work can be resolved through. So conflict at work can be resolved through. It's all about organized negotiation. They negotiate in a organized manner. Question 5. According to paragraph 3, some governments have dashed the process of collective bargaining. So paragraph 3, Southern African Development Community SADC countries have ratified ILO on freedom of association and collective bargaining. It is as a result of this ratification that national constitutions and under labor accede to some of the bargaining. However, this has not necessarily been done in the best practice, in as much as trade unions have made strides on pay and working condition. Collective bargaining has remained opaque, lengthy, and ineffective. Some governments have riddled collective bargaining with rigidity, bureaucracy, and divisiveness. So we can now answer. So according to paragraph 3, some governments have contributed to slowing down the process of. So riddled there simply means contribution to slowing down the process of collective bargaining. Question 6, paragraph 4, the law governing collective bargaining in the public service. So if you look at the paragraph 4, currently collective bargaining in the public service is non-existent or always poised to fail. The legislation governing negotiation between public sector and only serves to induce the spirit of collective bargaining. It does not provide for open discussion between the job owner and those hard to work. There is a symmetrical. Okay, we can now answer. So for number 6, so since we are told non-existent, so we'll say does not exist in SADC countries. Number 7, paragraph 4, it does not provide. The word it refers to, so number 7, it simply means we are talking about the collective bargaining, so it refers to collective bargaining. Number 8, paragraph 5, what have yielded varied among some SADC members countries? So for 8, the answer is A, civil servant is cause. Number 9, paragraph Paragraph 6, in order for collective bargaining to be productive, trade unions are advised to, so number 9, deliberately divide this, B, organize sectoral bargaining team, C, promote unit for the benefits of workers. So the answer is C. So we'll end at question 10. So I don't want to make this video very long, so look at summary on another video. So from the underlined words in the passage, find one word which means the same or nearly the same as the following. So long, decisive step. So we'll go with strides. Then said clearly, we'll go with enunciate. Then demand loudly, we'll go with clamor. Embarrass, agreed to request, accede. So we'll end here.